Hey, it's Mike with Riding in the Ozarks, and we just got home from Spring Fling, and I have just over 3,000 miles on my 2024 Street Glide. Now, I bought this right at 6 months ago. We're almost at the end of April. I got it home right at the end of October, so really close to 6 months and 3,000 miles, and I haven't done a review since the 500-mile review. So we're going to talk about what I've changed on the bike, why, what I like about the bike, what I still don't like about the bike, all those kinds of things. Being as we're home from Spring Fling, that's like doing 600-700 miles in 3 days. We rode out on Thursday, rode back in on Sunday, spent a full Friday and Saturday there at Spring Fling. So I've got quite a few miles in the saddle just the last few days, so I can really talk about the seat and some of those things after having rode highway, interstate, curvy roads, all that kind of stuff in the last, 72 hours. Well, let's start with the front. Now, some of you already know I've got factory match painted chin right here underneath the headlight. I'm gonna get the spoiler down there for the radiator and probably eventually a Clockworks front fender. That radiator area gets a lot of dirt off the front wheel, especially if you live on a gravel road or somewhere, chip and seal road, things like that, like I do, that doesn't have good drainage, has potholes with water sitting in them, things like that. So I want to change some of that out for that reason. And of course, I have a Clockworks windshield on there. Now, I'm actually in the process of making a windshield buyer's guide. I have 6 different windshields, including the stock one, to compare. So if you're interested in that stuff, be watching. I'll have that coming. And make sure you like and subscribe to see more videos and content like this on my 2024 Street Glide. I have a whole set of stuff coming where we're doing some dyno runs and things like that and talking about performance changes. I do have a stage 1 essentially on this. I did tab performance slip-on exhaust around Christmas. I got them on a Black Friday special, so I got a great deal on them. I love the sound of them. I did a wedge air cleaner and the Screaming Eagle Pro Street tuner, and I've just done an auto tune. We have not done a dyno tune yet, but that may be coming. Now, one of the things people talk about with the stock windshield is that it sucks and you can't hear the audio. Now, Harley Davidson did do an update. I already had stage 2 audio that I had done when I bought the bike. The Rockford Fosgate stage 2, they've now come out with the stage 3, which I hear is even better. But, you know, I just did 240 miles of 4-lane highway or more the last couple days in traffic with wind noise and everything else. And running an 8-inch Clockworks windshield, I can hear the stereo pretty well. Is it competition level? No. Is it as good as some of the other systems I've had in the past? No, but it is good enough. It's hard for me to spend another $550 when I just spent $400 on the stage 2 audio to jump to the stage 3, but I hear great things about the stage 3. But if you have a tall enough windshield, that does seem to really help cut some of that wind noise out. And that last update, they say, really helped with the volume levels and stuff on the stock audio. So if you do get stock audio, make sure you try a different windshield if you're going to change windshields anyway before you go spending money on stage 3 audio and stuff like that, unless you're just into loud music. And then, of course, do everything you can afford. Now, in my 500-mile review, I talked about the stock seat sucks. And it does. But I was able to put highway pegs on after the 500-mile review, or about that time, and I ran a Sundowner heated seat all through the winter. I ran this seat the last couple weeks, and the stock seat is livable as long as I have highway pegs or if I'm riding 2-lane roads. When I'm riding 2-lane roads, maybe a little more aggressive, I'm shifting my weight around, things like that, I don't seem to be bothered by the stock seat as bad. When I have highway pegs like this trip, going down the interstate, I can put my feet out on the highway pegs, put a little pressure on that, lift my butt up off the seat, take some pain off those pressure points and stuff, and I can survive with the stock seat. Now, I'm not doing 700-mile touring days on the interstate with it, and I don't think I want to, but I can live with the stock seat, but I still have the same problems that if I don't use the highway pegs and I'm just going down the interstate straight where I'm not shifting my weight around, I'm not leaning a lot. You know, these are big curves, not sweepers, not, you know, fun twisty roads, that after about an hour, I'm getting squirmy in the seat. So I tried not using the highway pegs just to see if I still felt that same way, and yes, I did it going down and going back, and highway pegs definitely helps with that. Now, I am thinking I am gonna buy an aftermarket seat. Right now, I'm kind of leaning toward a Saddlemen SDC Pro with the little mini backrest. I've kind of been looking at that seat off and on for a few years. I kind of wanted it for my Dyna, but they didn't make it for my Dyna, so I'm thinking I'm gonna try it on the Street Glide. If you guys have a great day cruising seat, let me know. I mean, if I'm gonna do 700 miles, I can always throw the heated sundowner on there, and that's gonna give me a lot more cushion, and that's gonna be a lot better for long hauls. So I don't think I'm gonna buy a touring seat that's made for long hauls like the road sofa. I think I'm gonna go for a day cruiser seat with more comfort. Now, I have heated grips installed in 12-inch LA Chopper bars. Very happy with those still. Ran the heated grips through the winter a lot and the heated seat. And I tried Harley Davidson's heated gear. And I have one complaint about that, and it kind of goes back to the bike. The heated gear connection underneath the seat won't reach to the front of the seat. You can't get it directly from the gear into the plug on the bike. It's not long enough one way or the other. So you got to use an extension, and Harley Davidson doesn't even make an extension cable, so you got to buy an extension cable from another manufacturer to get that to work on this bike, or you have to wire in one of the heated gear connectors to the battery that comes with the heated gear that has a longer pigtail so that you can get it up under the seat where you want it. I think that somebody missed the boat there. If you're going to market that there's two heated gear connectors under the seat, they need to be long enough to reach up under the seat and to the front of it where you can plug your heated gear in, or you need to make the extension cable, or you need to make that stuff work without having to go to another vendor to make it all work together. Fix that, Harley. I mean, I know 25 miles are out, but we're just talking about making the wire 6 or 8 inches longer, you know, zip tie it together under the seat, and then cut the zip tie if people want to extend it out to the front of the seat, and that'll solve a lot of problems, and you won't be making them consider other manufacturers' heated gear or cables and connectors to make your stuff work. Suspension, I'm still very happy with the way this thing rides, the way it handles. I got to ride a bunch of, you know, curvy roads in Arkansas this last weekend for spring fling, and it did really well. I'm really happy with the suspension, the handling still. The power is great. The stage 1, I mean, you know, if you haven't seen, I did do a video about the speed limiter where I took the bike to Mexico and we hit the speed limit at 107 miles per hour. As far as how the bike handles in high speed, there's been some talk online about a little bit of wobble. Some people are saying to change the air pressure in the front tire from 35 to 40. I have not tried that. Next time I go to Mexico, I may do that and see if it makes any difference. But I do feel like I get a little more wind turbulence or a little more of that movement in the front of the bike at high speeds with this fairing than I did with the old fairing. So now that was running a different windshield than the stock windshield. Sometimes windshields make a difference, things like that. I'm not saying it's all Harley's fault, but other people are talking about having a little bit of that kind of vibration and wobble in the front at high speeds, and they're saying the tire pressure can make a difference. So that may be something for someone to try if you're experiencing that. I don't tend to run over 90 mile an hour. You know, if I'm out on the interstate and where everybody's doing 75, I might run up to 90 to get around a semi or get around traffic and get back over. But that's about the fastest I normally run. What's riding fast to me is riding through 35 mile an hour curves at 65 mile an hour. That's what's riding fast to me, not 107 all the time. There's a lot of places where I go, you're never going to get to 107 mile an hour, and if you do, you're not going to stay there for very long at all. Today's video is brought to you by the Factory Match. We're down here at Eureka Springs for spring fling, and I had people literally know that was my bike when I pulled in based on the white trim I have underneath the headlight, and they knew I got that from the Factory Match. Factory Match makes painted parts, fenders, bags, all kinds of stuff, color matched from factory Harley Davidson paints. They do snake venom, all kinds of amazing colors and stuff. And I am proud to be partnering with them. They're offering my audience 5% off on any orders using the code RITO link in the description down below to check out their website. Thanks again, Factory Match, for making awesome parts like this and partnering with Riding in the Ozarks. So I have had no mechanical issues with the bike. After the last software update, because people are still saying they're having some problems with the audio and stuff, I had it one time a problem. I had watched some videos and I'd already ordered this. So I got a data blocker adapter that connects to the USB-C port to connect a cable to my phone, so that my phone only charges, and the infotainment center, Skyline OS, and this thing does not see my phone as being connected by any method other than wireless. And I have not had any more of these audio issues where it's not routing or not playing or anything else. So if you've done the update and you're still having things like that and you're plugging it in the tray, you might consider using a data blocker cable or adapter so that the system only sees it wirelessly and you can still charge your phone. That has worked out really well for me. I'm also using a Bluetooth HD media little USB thing from Amazon to have CarPlay even when I don't have my Cardo on. I do use a Cardo a lot, but I sometimes don't, and so I wanted to have a solution that allowed me to always have CarPlay for navigation. I tend to lead a lot, and so having navigation and being able to route the map, especially when we're in different areas like Northwest Arkansas where I don't know every single turn or every single road number. You know, I've been down them, but that doesn't mean it's been 6 months and I remember the road number. So that helps out a lot, having CarPlay for me. I have not tried the Harley Davidson navigation. It's something I'm considering. I've got some things I want to find out and see if it's really going to be worth it to me to invest in buying that. I did have a few issues when I was in Arkansas, being down at a park or a campground where there was no cell service. And so I couldn't pull up CarPlay and put in a destination and have it route me. I don't know if that would work differently with the GPS, but that's what I want to find out before I consider paying or getting that enabled. The other thing I am looking at changing in the near future besides the seat is the headlight. Now, I have not been a big fan of the honeycomb look, but I may do it because riding in Northwest Arkansas on Highway 62 west of Eureka Springs at night when it's been raining and there's no lights out there on the roads anywhere, there's not a lot of houses or residential lighting to help, you know, lead you through these curves or illuminate where the road is up ahead. I felt like I did not have as much visibility as I did with the old aftermarket headlight I had on my 2016 Street Glide. My wife, we just put an ST fairing on her Sport Glide, and we got the ST headlight from Advan Black that matches their fairing to make sure it would work. And I'm very impressed with how bright it is. And in fact, when we were riding and she was right behind me, I could see my shadow clearly on the rock bluff or the side of the road as we were going through turns, you know, where my headlight was not bright enough that it kind of dulled my shadow. It was very clear. Her headlight is very bright, much brighter than mine, and you know, I'm the guy leading the group, so I would like to have a little better lighting. So I'm going to consider the Shark Demon or see what other options I can find for the 2024 and up Street Glides. If you think there's a headlight out there I should look at, leave me a link down below, but I think there's pretty few options for the 2024s and up so far. Besides the Shark Demon, I think Baja 6 has got something maybe, but those are all those honeycomb kind of style ones. And then there's also, I think, one of these Chinese companies is selling one that looks just like the stock one. I'd hate to buy it to find out it's exactly the same thing. If you watch my 500-mile review, you'll remember one of the things I've complained about, and several other people have commented that they don't like it either, is the volume controls for the audio stuff is on the right-hand side where the throttle is. I hate that. Am I getting used to it? I'm getting better at it, but I have to be more deliberate. I have to be careful. I have to think about when I can do it. Sometimes I need to wait. I can't be doing it while I'm in the middle of a turn. To me, it just does not make sense, but I don't want to just come with, you know, complaints. I've got a solution. So let's talk about what I think Harley could do so that I could have my volume controls on the left, and it all just involves the computer. And you know, I think it's something that's reasonable that they could do through software. So let's take a look at it. You're riding down the road, you've got your maps up, whatever else, you want to change the song. So when you press this menu button over here, whatever you want to call it, it brings up this screen. Now this icon brings up CarPlay, this brings up audio, but there's no, you can skip songs here, but there's no volume control here. That's the real problem, and that's the thing I find I'm doing the most, is turning the song up or down as we maybe approach a stoplight or in town and we're slowing down and I need the volume to be lower, not as loud as when it's on the interstate. So what I envision is, so you could press the menu button, you could toggle up directly, and instead of having this screen, you could have basically a graphic of this pad where you choose up or down for volume, forward and back for song selection, and that's all you can do there. And then you could back out of it. I think that is a software solution that is totally feasible, that can be done for people that want to have an option not having the audio on the right-hand control over there. All right, guys, that's my 3,000 mile review on this bike, and I am happy with it. The changes I want made, other than the volume control, are all something that can be done through aftermarket, like seats and stuff. Overall, very happy with the bike. But I mean, if we're going to do a review, I might as well be honest and tell you a few of the things that I think could be better. And maybe Harley can take this video and talk to the engineers and figure out a solution for all of us who want the audio's controls on the left and not on the right. There's got to be a way. If you guys want to see more videos on 2024 upgrades, make sure you stay tuned to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for checking out the video. If you've been here before, thanks for being a repeat offender. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. All that stuff helps the channel grow. The more the channel grows, the more I can do other videos and upgrades. The more other companies want to work with me to show you products, things like that. So if you want to see 2024 content, that's great. I know some of you have asked about the setup on my wife's Sport Glide ST since we put the Advan black fairing on that. So I'm going to do a walk around on that bike really soon and talk about the setup on it and all the upgrades, and maybe that'll help some of you who are struggling. I've had a few people reach out and ask some questions. There are videos on her channel for things like the hand grip installs, the floorboards, the handlebars, all that stuff's over on Firecracker on Two Wheels. So make sure you check out her channel. She doesn't post a lot, but we do have 4 or 5 videos to put out this summer that we've already recorded for shop stuff we've done on the bike. So y'all take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on riding.